Speaking of tough to beat a team twice, what about is there any BYU crumble cookie bump coming? You think the boys? You think Bear and Tiger and all
coach is crying how much he loves you and that reception? I do think there will be a bump. I don't know if it'll be enough of a bump.
Right. I don't know if it'll be enough of a bump to overcome one of the best defenses in the country. But I was thinking about this, Danny. Like BYU's defense played okay in that game. They had to deal with short fields. They had to deal with a -3 turnover margin. They just cannot make it easy on Texas Tech. And if they don't, then they'll have a chance. But man, they got to find a way to block Hunter and Bailey and the rest of that defensive front, Rodriguez, and avoid the strip sack that sets up the easy touchdowns, because I think BYU's defense in the first game was solid enough that I think it will be difficult for Texas Tech to string together 10, 11, 12 play, 75-yard drives type stuff.
Yeah, but BYU also has to put those together.
I know, but they got rocked in the first game on the scoreboard.
They got rocked on the field too, Chip. Bud is not here, but I will ask Bud's favorite question. Are we sure that these guys can block Texas Tech?
No.
Do we know that they can? No, we know that they can't.
Yeah,
we saw it, now, taking what Bud says, I'm going to go against Bud, where injury or turnovers are luck. No, they're not. BYU had 3 turnovers in that game, and it was largely because Texas Tech was beating the hell out of them and forced those turnovers. Like, they were just overpowered. So this is a different situation to me than the Georgia-Alabama rematch, because I do feel like those teams are more evenly matched. I don't think these teams are that evenly matched. I think that, I mentioned earlier in the show that Ohio State has one of the greatest defenses of all time. And I think that has really overshadowed the fact that Texas Tech's defense is also really, really good. Like, it is along the lines of the Georgia defenses that we have seen in recent years. Now, granted, the competition, you're going to argue they're playing in the Big 12. It's different than Georgia playing in the SEC at the time, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm just talking about when going against the teams that they are facing, and the team that they are facing this weekend, this defense is exceptional. Like, when we were putting together our All-America teams this week, I don't know if you put your ballot together
this morning.
There's legitimately an argument to put 3 of Texas Tech's defensive linemen on your first ballot. A legitimate argument.
I think got cut, and I did not feel good dropping Lee Hunter from the ballot, but there were other interior defensive linemen. I agree with you, though.
And I like BYU. It's just, we have seen in this matchup, they just didn't have the dudes. Doesn't mean they can't win this game. They could force Texas Tech into those mistakes. They could try to, get the ball, a couple turnovers, get some of those quote unquote lucky bounces. Maybe Baron Morton, who's been banged up, goes out with an injury, and now you got your backup. So, I'm not ruling BYU's chances out. I am just highly skeptical based on what we saw in the first matchup that enough has changed for both of these teams to think BYU is going to be able to make up that deficit.
Not even Bears haunches can overcome the All-American.
No.
They just could not run the football.
Yeah.
I mean, LJ Martin, it was not, they held him to 67 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Now, it was in Lubbock. It was in Lubbock. That was an incredible home field advantage. Game day was there. It was off the charts. But, is a neutral field going to do that much of a difference? No. I did think for the first time, I thought Bear Bachmeier was clearly rattled, which you would expect a true freshman quarterback to do. I mean, maybe they run the ball a little bit better and their defense keeps them in it. I think that's the recipe for a BYU upset, is a low-scoring game where it's, 13-10, 17-14, something like that. And you're able to run the football a little bit more effectively, but I don't think they're going to score that many points. Maybe you get a pick 6. Baron Morton, I think, is a liability for Texas Tech. That's the one thing because I remember us discussing that game. It was like, man, it felt like Texas Tech dominated that game. Should have been 45-9. And they didn't, because I thought Baron Morton missed some throws.
And you mentioned Texas Tech and the run defense in that game. That's every week. Nobody's run the ball on Texas Tech. They are, if you look at EPA, they are at 0.38 per rush EPA. That's number 1 in the country. Second place is Ohio State at 0.28. So a whole full percentage point pretty much ahead of Ohio State. nobody has run the ball on this team. BYU is not a passing team. BYU's only real method of success on offense is they throw the ball, but it's through running it. And Texas Tech's not going to let them do it.
Under?
It hit the first game. It was 36. I can't remember what the posted total was, but I guarantee you it was much higher than 36.
And is there any negative side of Kalani Sitake allegedly going to an Altoona, Pennsylvania Sheets to go tell Pat Kraft he ain't taking that job?
I don't think Kalani was there, Chip.
Okay. You think it was photoshopped?
Just maybe.
Okay. Again, I said I don't care if it's photoshopped or real or not. I just thought it was funny.